quality of the sound is not going to be all that. Now, I heard someone once say on this video where they were explaining that if you're a content creator, if you're making content, that it doesn't matter how flashy, it doesn't matter how state-of-the-art, it doesn't matter how nice your presentation looks and your quality of your film. They said people will not listen to garbage audio. So I guess that just really sucks for me, because I'm like, hey, this channel needs to grow. I'm just keeping it real. I don't have the money to be buying fancy smancy audio and mic stuff yet. Okay? So just bear with me. So I'm going to get straight into this rant and rant on a couple of funny things, just a couple of, weird things that I'm seeing all over the internet, and I just feel like, man, it's just so much stuff. It's like so much to even swallow, and it's just a whole crap load of a mess. Not saying there's not some positive in it, but it's like always, it's such a load of crap, and it's such a hot mess. So, first I'm going to talk on, so if you guys haven't heard, especially if you are black, obviously, if you're black, you probably already know about this whole Woman King thing, this movie. They're, talking about the Woman King. I think I even heard people say that like it's based on a true story. Whether I don't know if that's true or not. Now, it's hilarious because you have different people coming at this different type of ways. Now, number one, I'm going to say you have black people like myself getting so hyped. You are so hyped up about this movie, and I'll admit, rightfully so. I'll admit that. Like, I don't even think you have to be black. I just think that inherently, and I don't even have to. I'm not even saying that you have to be any warrior of any kind to appreciate the spirit behind a concept like that. I think just any person who has a deep longing to see a person in a position that they feel is like oppressed or something, or someone that is about, peoples or people that are about to be taken over, to revolt or resist, is something that like is very emotional and very connected to them. And that's not just black people, so I get it. But the thing is, you also have some people, like you have men. This is where I think it starts to get comical. Like, I definitely resonate with the idea of, like, this is very significant, this is emotional to us, because it tells, I forgot the lady's name, but someone was saying, like, this movie kind of tells a badass story of black people, not the stupid-ass slave stories that you're used to seeing, like, because, and I agree with that, you're always used to seeing these, and I hate these movies, too, myself. It's like, you got this same old slave crap, it's a slave, a slave story, like, we've all seen it. Oh, someone's getting whipped. Oh, here we go again. Someone's getting lynched. Here we go. Someone's getting lynched because they stole eggs. Someone's getting their foot cut off because they stole soap. So on and so forth. Someone is getting whipped to the white meat because they stole soap. Okay, it's old. It's tired. We've all seen it. It makes people mad. It makes me mad. No one likes seeing it. No normal person. No normal person likes seeing it. I mean, if you're like racist and you like to see a certain race get the shit beat out of them, or them get degraded, tortured and stuff, and raped and everything else, or you want to see people get like mutilated because you really hate a certain race. And I mean, you're not the norm. Normal person, no one, even any white person is not one. No one wants to see that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if you're a real gore freak and you're just like indiscriminate gore and you have a gore fixation, maybe you want to see that not because you're racist, but you just want to see someone get their back torn off. But yeah, you got what I'm saying, right?
So many babes.
So
So
you know,
little
we're
time.
tired of. Everyone's tired of seeing that. I feel we can all agree. No one, we don't want to see a goddamn slave story. No one wants to see a slave story anymore, of any kind, especially a black slave story. No, we've seen it so many times. No one wants to see it. It's done. It's like it's done to death. So yeah, I would definitely agree on watching a movie that is more about an uprising or a war or a warrior-based theme than some here we go on the plantation getting the shit beat out of us again. Here we go with this shit again. See, Django put a twist on it that made it entertaining and not so played out. So that was a little different. But you got some guys that are black men, and then they're shitting on this whole woman king thing. They're saying that some women are having penis envy, and oh man, I'm laughing at it because I'm like, I feel you. I know there are some women that that is their logic. They do have penis envy, and there are some women that yes, they are envious of men and they resent men because they simply resent. They resent. I'll just be real. This channel gives. I'm just gonna say this channel gives no Fs. This channel keeps it real, so I don't really beat around the bush and get politically correct or sugarcoat things really on this channel. If you're familiar with me, a lot of women, because they simply are physically not as strong as men. Let's just put it like that. They have this envy towards men, where it's like, I can get mad, I can talk all I want, I can talk all the BS I want, but when it comes to the time to throw those hands, I already know it's not happening. Okay, this is not happening for me. I'm not going to go around taking on men. I'm not beating up men. And at my core, it drives me insane because I have all this rage, and all this emotion, and all this frustration. And I can't deal with these men on their level like that. I've even met women like that before in my life. Once in a blue, not a lot, rarely, but I've met women like that. Where it's like, you know, they just get furiously mad. You know what I mean? And they hate men for this. They hate men for other reasons too, but that's one of those things where they just, you know, and there is penis envy. It's like they wish they could be a man. You even get some that actually are lesbians. They wish they could be men. It's like they wish they were men, but they're not. That's not. But I also have to say, I don't feel like, oh, that's by far all women that are into this movie or that are so hyped up or emotional about this movie. No, I really don't think that's really the core of what the energy is. I think most of it is. It has to do with us as a race, as black people, with roots from Africa. I think that's what it really has to do with. I think that's the core of it. I don't think most of it is about, like, you know, the gender, like, oh, you know, I'm angry at men, or, you know, we have a movie where we're the heroes, or I don't really feel that vibe coming off of women too much. I don't really feel that's what's going on. Now, I know there definitely are women out there with that's their attachment to this thing, to this woman king thing, but you get what I'm saying, right? So, you know, how I look at it is like this. One guy said this. One guy said, which I agree with this point. He said, you know, you can't really knock black women for making this movie because what they did is they created a project. You know, they made something. Where's ours? You know what I mean? Where's us as black men? Where's our movie? You know what I mean? Telling our story or our stories or whatever. Where's our thing? Where's that? Right? I have no arguments with that. That's an extremely strong point. I mean, yeah, I can't really argue with it. Where is it? You know what I mean? So, I don't have anything negative actually to say about this movie, nor do I have anything negative to say about people gravitating towards it or or anything. I don't have anything negative to say about it. So, you know, all I would hope for, because when I watch a movie, I want to see, when I watch a movie, there's a couple of things I want to see. Okay, one is I want to see a movie that isn't trying to necessarily push an agenda. And if you are, okay, if you are trying to push an agenda, at least make a good movie, because if you make a movie good enough, I won't really be focused on, may not even pick up on that you're trying to push anything. I just may see it as a good piece of art. You know, because film is art. You know, if you're making a good movie with like good fight sequences, good storyline, good plot, you know, good acting, visuals, soundtrack, it's a good piece of art. It's altogether a good piece of art. So if it is that, then it is that. You know, I mean, that's all I really worry about when I watch a movie. I don't really get hung up in all the other stuff. But will I sometimes get annoyed, like I see something in a movie and I'm like, really? Do they really have to do that? Like, what was that like? I personally rarely seen that, though I've heard people talk about it. Like, another thing I'm going to briefly talk about is this Buzz Lightyear thing, the Buzz Lightyear lesbian kiss thing or whatever it was. So, you know what? I don't even care. I'm like, that's very petty and minor to me. It doesn't really rattle me or offend me, and I don't have children myself, so, you know, I'm like thinking, whatever, it is what it is in a movie. I mean, I'll honestly be real. Okay, I'll be real, like, be straight up 100% real about this shit. I've seen, and I'll be real about this, I've seen so many scenes in a movie where it was a man and a woman making out, or, you know, man and a woman sex scene or whatever, to where that shit, honestly, to me, is just depressing, me being a single person. So, if I were to watch a movie, it's not gonna bother me to see some goddamn lesbians kissing, because I don't really have a jealousy for a lesbian kissing a girl. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's just like, well, lesbians are lesbians. I don't have a chance with a lesbian anyway. You know what I mean? Lesbians don't typically like women. You know what I mean? I have to compete with other men for women. I don't have to compete with other contractors. I don't have to compete with women for women, generally. I mean, I've never had a lesbian cockblock me before, so I don't really know. You know, I don't really have anything negative to say about that. You want to put lesbians kissing in movies, go right ahead. I really don't care. It doesn't really bother me in any type of way, honestly. It's not necessarily the most unpleasant thing to see in a movie. I mean, it's just if you do it so many times that it gets old. Anything gets old if you're going to keep doing it over and over. Now, or if you're going to jeopardize, like I said, art, you're going to jeopardize the quality of the movie because you want to insert something in there, that's a different story. But in general, what I really want to talk about in this rant is, you know, aside from just like political or politically charged antics with people with their antics, you know, they're just really trying to insert shit in. No pun intended. They're trying to insert everything and anything and everything in everything. You know what I'm trying to say? They're trying to insert everything into anything and everything. So every orifice that there is, they're trying to insert something in to feed their agenda, to push their agenda, right? So me, I'm just kind of like, I don't try to be subtle. Me, I'm just in your face about everything. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm satanic. Yes, I want to try to push satanic beliefs, take satanic vibes, demonic beliefs, demonic lifestyles, demonic habits, satanic habits. Yes, I try to push that agenda anytime I can. There's no subtlety about that. You know what I mean? There's no subtlety about it with me. So I mean, but that's just me. You know, like with me, it's more like I'm trying to appeal to a audience, and then I'm trying to also show you the positive and the pros and the cons, actually. But I'm trying to show you really the pros of certain evil, so-called evil things, like satanic things or so-called demonic things, which could be anything, which could be even down to like fashion, it could be anything. But I'm trying to show you something so that you have seen it. So because you now have seen it for what it truly is, you could either choose to partake of it or not. You know, or you may want to adopt things from it. Now, there's no secrecy about that with me. You know what I mean? I make it clear about things I don't like, things that I don't stand for. I don't stand for an agenda to try to push, how do I say this? To try to rob our children that will be men when they grow up, to try to rob them of their masculinity, and force queer lifestyles, or force some type of queer, thing onto someone. I don't agree with it, because the thing is, you're trying to force it on them. You're trying to be subtle and trying to be sly about it. Like, you're like, oh well, you don't need this to be a man, or you don't need this to be a woman, or you don't, and then you try to like change definitions to suit how you now see, I'm not about that bullshit. You know what I mean? So I'm about accepting people for what they are, but I'm not about deception and trying to like slyly manipulate people into something that, like, for lack of a better word, these children probably aren't even old enough to even know if they even want anything to do with something like that. You know what I mean? Like, now if they do, then I guess that's what they choose for life, and that's okay. But you can't be going around here. I mean, you can, but I don't agree with it. You shouldn't be going around here trying to subtly indoctrinate people into stuff, especially younger kids, because they're vulnerable. So it's kind of like, oh, so you want to take advantage of the vulnerable. You don't want to take advantage, try to take advantage of people who you know you can't, because they already know what they don't want. They already know what they want. You're trying to trick people into, for whatever crazy reason this goes on. I don't agree with that. So, like I said, there's no secrets on this channel. This channel is not about hiding anything. In fact, this channel exposes people who try to be closeted about things and demeans. And this channel, how do I say this? This channel shuns people who try to be deceptive and closeted and try to be like sly about their ways and things like that. Like, that shit doesn't fly. We don't appreciate that shit on this channel. Okay, we don't appreciate it. We appreciate if you are something, or you are who you are, own who you are, and live out your life. And how do I say this? Be proud of what you are, who you are, and don't try to be a sly, sneaky, slimy person. Try to so basically, I'm going to talk about a little bit how this world. It's like when I watch the media and I watch YouTube, I watch things. It feels like I'm watching the world die slowly. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm watching our, how do I say this? Our civilization, or watching our, society. I'm watching our society kind of corrode and degrade in a very rapid, very strange way. And the thing that the question I asked is, like, who is going to, in the end, going to benefit from this, or what is this going to be? Like, is this the beginning of a new age? Is this a death of something good, or is it going to actually backfire on itself? I don't know what to really think, because I don't know the future. But I do feel as though when I watch stuff like this, they're talking about, oh, this in the movie, people have this take on it. They're talking about drag queen story time in friggin' schools with kids, so it's like, okay, so I get it. Now, I'm going to speak on this myself because this is my personal experience from my own life experience, not something I've heard on TV or watched or whatever, or from the mouth of a friggin' child or something, or from the mouth of a friggin' adult. This is my experience is this. When I was a kid, I didn't know what a drag queen was, okay? I didn't even know what that was. Now, when I was a kid, I remember there was someone that used to dress in drag, and I can't remember this person's name correctly, so I'm not going to butcher their name and try to say it. But there used to be a famous black person that was dressed in drag. And then, one day someone tried to explain to me, like, oh, that person's a man that dresses like this and means this and blah blah. And I'm going to tell you, I couldn't even barely comprehend what the hell they were trying to convey. All I knew was now I thought this person was weird. I thought this person was a little scary, a little freaky. And that's kind of all is where that went. It was just kind of like, I'm going to be real. Other children are different, but my child mind could not grasp the concept of that for nothing. I was just like freaked out by it. Just like I was freaked out by Pee Wee Herman because I didn't know what a pedophile. Okay, I'm not saying Pee Wee Herman is a pedophile, but what I'm saying is I didn't know what a pedophile even was, but I just looked at Pee Wee Herman and thought there's something creepy and very off-putting about this man. You know what I mean? There's just something that's just off about it, you know what I mean? And then when that whole Pee Wee Herman masturbation in the movie theater thing was on, all that, and my parents were chatting about it, and my father and mother were saying stuff about it, I didn't really even understand what they were talking about. But just like the tones of it just felt creepy, and all I could think was like, you know, I wouldn't want to go near that person. Like, it's something just, I don't like the vibe of this. You know what I mean? It just feels, something feels wrong about this. But, I'll say, when I got older, by the time I was like in like high school and stuff like that, in a lower grade, a drag queen was never a thought in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, my mind was focused on me daydreaming about, I'm sorry, but for lack of a term, me getting some ass. My daydream was about me playing a cool video game, or being able to like learn how to draw some really cool character or something, or watch an anime or something. My mind was nowhere near on some shit about like a drag queen. Like, at that point in my life, if I had seen a drag queen in the street, it just would have been like, oh shit, dude, did you see this? It would have been like, did you see the guy that was dressed up in the dress? Yeah, I saw him, oh shit, blah blah blah. It would be funny, it would be like a laughing thing, we'd probably just laugh about it. And it would just be a funny character, that would be another person, that would be another character amongst our group, friend zone, or clique, that we would laugh at once in a blue moon and make jokes. Okay, that's as far as that shit would go. Now, this whole notion of, what I'm really getting at is this whole notion of like, oh, kids are going to demonize hate and just hate with a passion these so-called these drag queen people because we're not teaching them at a young enough. No, it doesn't even work like that. It just does not work. It doesn't work that way. Now, I would say if you're a person who genetically and for whatever reason you have like this phobia or hate or something of a so-called drag queen of all things, some person who's just dresses up like a woman or something, and whatever else comes with it, I don't know what their thing is, but you know, no normal person, you do know that normally a person generally kind of looks at it, looks like, okay, that's weird, and then goes back about their business, right? There's not really like this whole, I don't know, there's this whole narrative of like this whole like hated, super hatred Nazi type of like, you know, we just hate this person because, you know, we fear them and hate them because we just don't understand. No, it's not like that. You know, I would strongly disagree with any notions of it. So what I'm really trying to say is all of this stuff necessary? This whole, you know, drag queen story time, is that really necessary? Like, that's just a question I have to ask. You know, that is a question I have to ask. Is it really necessary, actually? Is it actually doing more harm than it is good? Because, like I said, you're introducing stuff, weird concepts into kids' minds that their minds aren't even fully ready to even try to understand. Like, how would their minds don't understand none of that shit? It doesn't. Their mind does not understand that. It may understand the most basic, primal, tiny parts of that. Okay, this person has makeup on, they have fake eyelashes on, they got a dress on, and a wig, and every so much in between that is lost. They really can't, it's like, just stop it. Just stop. So, yes, I do believe there are some people out here who, what their real agenda is they want to try to really, like, almost turn out, if you will, children onto some gayer path that they would probably not really even think twice about going down. But like I said, you're trying to bypass their whole mental system. Like, you're trying to bypass it. You're trying to go around it. You're trying to put so much stimulus in front of them that now they actually are asking questions that they never wouldn't even ask. That actually are not healthy for them to even be asking. You know what I mean? It's like, people. Okay, I'll put it like this: people pretend like there's no such thing as confusion with a human. A human being can be confused, especially a child. Like, a child's mind can be confused or clouded because there's too much stimulus there. There's too much in front of them. They can't even grasp a half of it, let alone a portion of it. You're fucking flooding them with all types of bullshit, all types of just, like, nonsensical, queer shit that they, like I said, there's no fucking way that it would be normal to any degree that they would even be able to grasp half what you're trying to, like, shove down their throat and put in front of them. But I see what you're doing, though. Like I said, what you're doing is, whether you maybe even know it or not, is you're on, like I said, you're on some slimy, shady type of shit is what you're doing. And it's not good. It's really not good. Like I said about the masculinity thing, like I said, we need balance in this society. But so, like I said, we do need people that will be masculine, that will be strong, that will be natural, that will be men that are men, manly men that are men to a core of a man. Not no messed up, missing pieces, watered down, confused, deluded, sorry individual. You know what I mean? That you have tainted their mind to the point to where you have lied to them and told them that it's okay for them not to reach their potential, when honestly, you're not telling that person that they won't be fulfilled, they won't be able to have things they really want in life. They will not be able to attract the women that they want to attract. They will not be proud of themselves, and they will not be at peace with themselves because they have how do I say this? They have degraded themselves and have been stripped of essential parts of themselves that otherwise, with the right nurturing, they would have that. But now what you're doing these days is you call them toxic. You say that to be a man, you don't need that. It's not necessary. Oh, that's toxically masculine. So you're lying to these fucking kids is what you're doing. And something that really pisses me off is when people try to fucking manipulate kids. I just don't like the concept of that shit. Because it doesn't sit right with me. It does not sit right with me at all. You know what I mean? That doesn't sit right with me at all. So, like I said, often I feel like I'm watching this society die slowly, but I will also say on one hand that, like I said, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know everything, so I can't say that death is not a good thing for the society, because I don't know. One thing dies. When one thing dies, it means something new arises, and evolution is part of the course of time. And like I said, as time goes on, things change, and maybe sometimes for the better, even though we don't understand it, right? So I really don't know what to think. All I know is shit that I don't like, personally for myself, I don't like seeing certain things, but I also have to say that, like, it's not my job, nor is it my agenda to exactly, because there is gray area there. I do believe in helping society to a certain degree to try to, like, influence it and impart, like, certain things that I feel would be beneficial to us. But on the same point, I have to say that, like, you know, does it feel like a dying society to me? It does. To me, it feels like a literal death before a new birth of some sort. It feels like a chaotic, crazy shitstorm of just nonsense. In more nonsense, on top of nonsense. You know, it's like, so, it seems like you just can't get anything right. You know what I mean? You know, I'm going to elaborate on that. What I mean by that is it seems like, so, you have war, you have conflict, that you created yourself anyway. I'm not going to bullshit. We created ourselves anyway for devious reasons. And I'm not a fool to believe what the government says. The government is lying to everyone. The government is a big-ass liar. So, I know not to trust the government. I know they're full of shit. So, it's like, you have war and you have conflict that was created for a certain purpose for devious reasons. And then you have a trickling down effect to where common citizens now have struggles, have issues, but then you also have other people who have devious agendas who fight on different sides. So now you have fighting inside of your society. You have a split society. You have like a split opinions everywhere, here and there. Everything is supposedly either toxic that supposedly was natural, and then if it's not natural, then it's deemed bad by some people, even some people like myself. And then you also have, on the same side, you have, like, people who are of a different religious place saying that, like, this is horrible, this is the cause of all the problems. Then you have these people saying, no, actually, you're the cause of all the problems. And then you have other people that probably really know what the cause of the problem is, but there's so much corruption where all the money and the power is that no one's really able to make a dent in anything, and it's all, like I said, it's literally just a bunch of infighting and chaos. And what that, in my mind, sounds like I said, sounds like the death of a society and a civilization, and whatever comes out of that in the future, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I really have no clue what that's going to look like. And the thing is this, if I live my life fulfilled and I get what I want out of life, I really don't give a goddamn what it looks like for you motherfuckers. Excuse my French. But I had to drop the F-bomb. Fine, I didn't want to say that, but I'm saying it because I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what this world looks like, if it's ashes, skeletons, molting lava, torn buildings, nuclear destruction. I don't give a fuck what it looks like, as long as I get what I want out of life in my lifetime. Okay, that's all. But what I feel like I'm witnessing, like I said, is a fucking death of a civilization, a death of a society, and an extreme chaotic perversion of everything to where, shit, you might as well, like I said, you might as well just look out for yourself, because everything is so chaotic. It's almost like everyone's getting pulled in a different direction. Everyone has their own opinion. It's all fucked up, and it's a shit show, man. So that's how I look at things. You know what I mean? That's the way I see things. And personally, I just want to enjoy my life and have a good time. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to have a good time. I want to have a fulfilling life. I want to have a stable, happy marriage with a good wife and die happy, right? That's what I want. Other than that, I could give a fuck what happens. But
I'm just putting my opinion on all of this shit. Because at the end of the day, I don't really prescribe to one like political party or one political agenda or anything, because to me it's all fucked up. You know what I mean? It's all fucked up. I don't even believe that, like, I'm not even saying I want everyone to have my beliefs, because I don't. You know what I mean? I don't, actually. I would rather that, like, I would be successful in my own right and be successful in my own domain. That's what I'm really trying to say. You know what I mean? I don't really want everyone to be like myself. That's not what I'm about. But I'm just, putting things out there and just giving my interpretation, my opinion on things. Like, I feel like I have my own interpretation of a lot of things, in my own opinion, regardless of what that is. So, those are just some things that I thought I had to speak on, some things that I should talk about, and to be honest, I don't know what to make. Oh yeah, and I was going to speak on one more thing, and then I'm going to either close or I'm going to cut this into 2 parts. So, I was going to talk about my experience with the what do you call it? My experience with COVID, right? So, because I had it at one point. I got over it, got my vaccine and everything. Or vaccines, plural. My vaccines, my shots, and everything. And, my experience with it was really, really weird, and it was very scary, actually, because I'd never really been hit so hard by, like, a virus like that, or at least never had symptoms exactly like that before. So basically I was kind of like almost bedridden to a degree, to where it was really hard for me to even stand for any length of time, hard for me to breathe. One thing I did, which I was surprised at myself, was I force-fed myself and really, like, packed down protein, pork chops of all things in particular, a lot of pork chops, canned fruit, stuff that I could grab that was close to, like, the side of my bed that I could easily grab. Pretty much got up only to go to the bathroom and to shower, and then went back to bed and then to eat. Took NyQuil. Actually didn't, and drunk a lot of water. I didn't really use any prescribed medications from a doctor, necessarily. I didn't. I really just took NyQuil. You know what I mean? As weird as that sounds. I don't know if that was smart. I don't know what works for you. Eventually I got rid of it. No more COVID for me. So, but, another thing I was going to say is what is this whole monkeypox? This monkeypox bullshit. What is this? What the fuck is this monkeypox shit? I'm just saying, it's like, why, how, and why? You know what I mean? It's the weirdest shit. It's always, I swear, it's always the same shit with a different package. It's like, you got this monkeypox shit. It looks fucking gross. It looks horrible. I just have to say that. Pictures I've seen of people with this stuff from it. It looks fucking disgusting. And it's actually scarier than COVID to me, because I don't want that shit on my face and on my fucking body. Are you kidding me? You look fucking gross. Like, fuck, how long does that scar? Does that last forever? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But you got people saying all types of crazy shit, like, oh, it came from Africans. Then you got Chinese people saying some shit, which I don't even know what to say. Anytime I hear Chinese, and I'm like, oh, is this even true? Like, this really doesn't sound too credible to me, coming from China. And then, you got people saying it came from, like, what was it? I don't know if they said it was gay sex or gay people. All I know is this. I heard all types of just the weirdest shit saying that where this monkeypox actually came from. Or people fucking a monkey or whatever. Like, like what? Or what the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. But what I have to say about it is this, I just really don't understand how it's always something. It's always some disease, it's always some virus, it's always some fucking pox. It's always something. I don't know, it's always something from some fucking country. You know, it's always every year, every so many years. What the fuck? You know, what the fuck, man? Really? Just saying. Just fucking saying. Just saying. It's just annoying. To me, it's just annoying because it's like, oh, so we really can't just eradicate these type of things already? We can't just live in a world where, you know, like, I guess not, right? I guess fucking not. Like every other thing. Nothing can just be how you want it, right? There's always got to be some fucked up, weird fucking thing. So, yeah, I just had to say something about monkeypox shit.
This is your host Steve from the back coming at you raw once again with the rape thrusts all up in your guts. Okay, enough of playing around. This is your host Steve from the back. If you're not familiar with this channel, first off, I have to sincerely apologize if my way of telling a story or things is offensive to some people. Because, you know what? Sometimes I don't really care. I just feel like telling my opinion. So, you know, it's going to come out how it comes out. Also, I have to add that on this channel is not just gameplay or, you know, ranting and gameplay. This channel really is supposed to just be a channel that mostly talks about recreational activities, you know, different types of culture, philosophy, spirituality, and also the whole world of paranormal and cryptozoology. If you don't even know what that is, well, maybe you don't. I don't know, maybe you don't even know what that is, but basically, that's kind of what this channel is. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what the core of this channel is. But occasionally, I do go on rants about political things, and I just was kind of ranting about random things here and there that I've seen in the media, because, you know, certain things seem popular or seem relevant to some people now. Like, you know, you got people talking about the monkeypox. You got people talking about the Woman King movie. You got people talking about all this disgusting, messy gender and sexuality stuff, and then that in the schools, and birth control and child, what's it called, abortions. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, people, you're so obsessed with the weirdest stuff. Like, I understand to some people's logic, like, why this stuff is so significant to you, but also on the flip side, what it really shows me is that, and myself included, you must have a really unfulfilling life. Because I feel like people that are actually happy, people that have lives that are fulfilled, do not focus on this stuff so heavily. They know that their savior is not in the change of this law, that law. They know that, like, this world, it's basically, it's who you know, it's how you use your resources, it's how much resources you have. Maybe you're lucky and you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, regardless if you're black, white, whatever, whether you're queer, 1,000 genders, pans, whether you like to dress up as Rainbow Sunshine Sparkle or whatever. Regardless of all of that bullcrap, it's about how much money do you have, how much authority do you have, who do you know, and what can you really accomplish? You know what I mean? Like, what can you actually do, or what can you do in your life because you and yourself have enough courage to go out and actually put something into action? How much discipline do you have? How much self-control do you have? And is your life actually fulfilling? Like, are you happy with who you are? Do you have like the type of partners in your life, or whatever thing that you makes you fulfilled? Like, are you actually doing that, or are you just some run-of-the-mill friggin' dime a dozen boring person who is weak anyway, who has nothing special about them and is probably talentless? Are you some person like that who just crybabies about everything, and you really never really make any real steps to do anything? Even if you would even try, you're too much of a coward and too soft to even get out of your comfort zone to try to make some type of step to anything. Because this is why I talk like that. Talk like this because this is stuff people don't want to say. People don't want to word it the way you should word it, and they know that your little crybaby ass, because you're soft, probably already jumped off of the goddamn video already because you couldn't handle it. Because you couldn't even handle being talked to like this. You know what I mean? Because it's a vicious cycle. That it's a reoccurring problem. It's like it's a you can't handle the truth, so you run away from it, which puts you further in your condition, and you never escape it. You know what I mean? So, like I said before, you know, people who are closeted, people who are weak, people who are cowards, people who blow things out of proportion and refuse to ever really do anything themselves, but love to play the victim and blow things out of proportion about everything. You know what I mean? This channel shames you. This channel shuns you, and you get shamed on this channel when you come with that. You know, you can enjoy the videos or enjoy things, but the second that you want to play those type of games, you're no longer welcome here. So, for those of you that can actually appreciate anything that I'm freaking saying, god damn, got hiccups, heavy hiccups. Oh god, Hiccup City, because I ate half of a chicken fast. So that's specially made for you vegans out there. So like I was saying, you know, if you appreciate anything worth appreciating, or anyone's opinion that is actually saying anything worth hearing, or you even appreciate any type of content that I create on this channel, thoroughly brush through the videos in this channel. You know, because it's not just one thing. So, you know, I'm new to YouTube, not new, but new in the fact of that, you know, I'm not popular by any means. Only 65 subscribers, I believe. So everything is appreciated, even down to the smallest view, you know, share, like, and sub, that type of thing. And this is Steve's Art and Fun channel, and I'm gonna pretty much just shut up and let you enjoy whatever is the end or the left of this video.
Fight. Fight.
I'm a member of STARS.
Round. Fight.